Welcome to the Unfuck Your Fitness podcast. I am your host, Christy Castillo, and I'm here to give you real talk and cut the BS so you can actually enjoy building a body you love. I'm a personal trainer obsessed with giving you simple action steps to take you from feeling stuck to feeling sexy. Let's go. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's episode. My voice is a little raspy. I apologize in advance for any squeaking, crackling, whatever is going to happen today. I've been feeling sick for about a week. It's not terrible, but definitely kind of under the weather. And the weather honestly probably has a lot to do with it since it's so freaking hot here. I will never complain about hot weather, except when I'm out at baseball games for 3 days in a row all day long and it's 100 degrees and it's so stinking hot I can't even think straight. But anyway, I think just being so hot and my allergies have kind of kicked in and being probably sleep deprived and, stressed and busy and all the things. Anyway, just a little sick, but my throat actually feels fine now. I just sound sick. So I was hoping to kind of compile a bunch of podcast episodes to kind of I've been getting a lot of questions, which are really, really nice. And they're giving me a lot of content to work with for posting and on the podcast. But with my voice sounding like this, that's not really the best idea. So I'm just gonna see how this goes. But anyway, I'm excited to talk to you about today's topics. I asked on my Instagram stories, just ask me some questions, give me some podcast topics, kind of feeling out how you guys are doing. What questions do you have? What do you want to know? What are you struggling with? And I want to talk about in particular the question of how to stay on track for summer, how to stay on track during the summer. So I want to talk about my thoughts on that for you. And then I also want to tell you how I stay on track in the summer and what that looks like as far as my gym life, what my workouts kind of look like, my eating, things like that. So I think this will help because I got some questions like, what is your gym split? What do you eat for protein, for me personally? And I'll answer those, of course, on Instagram as well. So go follow me at Christy Castillo Fit. There is a Unfuck Your Fitness podcast page as well, but I don't post my personal stuff on there. So come follow me on both. But I definitely want to talk about first the topic of how to stay on track in the summer. I think where a lot of us, me included in the past, would get a little bit lost and fall off track is because you forget to pivot and I would forget to pivot and I would forget to plan on summer being different. A lot of times we start this lifestyle or we start a program, whatever you want to call it, right? Your fitness journey, whatever you're starting. I'm starting to get fit. I'm starting X, Y, and Z to hit my macros, I'm starting, tracking my steps, all the things that I talk about. Those things are going to look different in different seasons of life and in different seasons of the year, quite literally. I want you to understand that so deeply that you have to pivot and you have to change all the time, constantly. Your version of quote unquote on track will look different in the summer than it does in the winter, than it does in the fall, than it does in the spring. Okay. Every single season of the year, literally, I want you to pivot and change. Every single season of your life, whether that be by years, whether that be, you had a child, you literally gave birth, physically had a child, you got a different job, you got married, you got divorced, you got whatever, right? If something happens in your life, it can be big, it can also be small. You have to pivot and change things. So your version of on track has to change. So how you stay on track for the summer is probably not how you stayed on track for the spring. So I have a lot of people right now that are like, I'm falling off track. This is getting hard. I can't maintain what I'm doing. I'm all over the place. I'm not able to stay. This isn't sustainable, whatever it is, right? So if you're in a position right now of I can't do what I've been doing. I have a lot of clients that have had issues themselves or their kids have had issues, or you have travel baseball every single flipping weekend. So you're only home 3 days out of the week that's quote unquote normal, and they're not normal because you're doing everything on those 3 days that you have to do in 7 days. So it can be anything. We all have something that's going to make us have to pivot. So summer is not going to look like it did before. Spring for me looked one way. Summer for me looks a different way. You have to change your mentality. You have to change your version of on track. So that's what I want you to do first. Literally right now. Right now, think, what have I been doing? What was I doing in the spring, or what was I doing that I was so on track and I was killing it and I was feeling so good? And now you're off track. What changed? Probably social events, get-togethers, friends, foods, drinks, right? So what does your life look like now? You have to be able to make your track, whatever track that you're on, that you keep, you're either on track or you're off track. The track has to be very realistic. So that's it. I mean, I could stop right there and say the way that you stay on track in summer is to fix the track, design the track yourself. You get to decide what that looks like. For this summer, what does on track look like for me? And that's what you have to define, because if you're constantly trying to stay on track, do a program, stick to all these things that aren't doable, if you set yourself up for failure, which I've talked about so many times in past episodes. So if this is the first episode you're listening to, please go back and listen to all of them. Start binging the podcast, because this all ties in together. But if you set yourself up for failure, obviously you're going to fail. So it's so simple when it comes out of my mouth like that, but that's the only way that I know how to speak to you, honestly, is honestly. So you have to choose your track and lay it out and set yourself up for success. So I'm going to give you examples of what I do in the summer and what this looks like for me. And I think that will be really helpful. But as far as me explaining to you how to stay on track for the summer, there's not a way. I'm not going to be one of these podcasters or influencers or just human beings that gives you a step-by-step of this is exactly how you stay on track, because there's not a list of things that I can tell you that will help you stay on track, because I don't know how busy you are. I don't know what your life looks like. I don't know your family. I don't know you. So it's stupid for me to stand here and give you all of these tips and tricks and examples that don't fit into your life. I can't tell you how many podcasts or things I've listened to where people are like, set up a morning routine and then set up a night routine. And then, in the middle of the day, do this and all these different tangible things, but none of them are something that I can do. A morning routine is going to give me more shit to do, to be quite honest with you. If I can't stay on track because I'm too busy, the last thing I need is 6 things to do in the morning and then 6 things to do before I go to bed. That's not the kind of person I am. So we have to figure out for you exactly what that's going to look like. So what I would suggest, I guess, let me back up for a second before I go into how I do this. What I would suggest is you look, honestly, if you need to lay out a calendar and put everything that you have to do on this calendar. That's what I had to do in May, because May was insane with graduation and the graduation party and the baseball games 3 days a week and track meets 2 days a week. And it was like, when am I even going to breathe, let alone work out or anything else? So I had to put everything that I had to do on a calendar. And I probably need to do this again. I just quite honestly have not had the time to do it, but I will soon. And I'll probably walk you through that on Instagram. It's good for me to be held accountable in that way as well. But if you have to lay out a calendar, that's probably a really good idea, and lay out, your entire calendar for June's almost over, which is insane. So lay out July, lay out August, go into September if you need to. What are we looking at here? What get-togethers do you have? What are things you have to get done? Anything and everything, right? Make a list maybe first, put it on the calendar and see how many days a week can you work out. So the things that you have to do, for me, the things that I have to do are work out, meaning lift weights, not cardio, not HIIT, none of that. I have to lift weights. So work out means lift weights for me. I have to walk. I'm going to hit 12,000 steps. God damn it, if it's the last thing I do daily. Usually that's my goal. And I get pretty dang close if I don't give myself the option, right? The shit is not optional. And then I'm going to hit my water goal and I'm going to track my food. So those are the 4 things that I have to do. I don't have to do them every single day, but I do want to drink enough water. I do want to hit my protein and like get close to my macros. I've been doing this long enough that I can pretty much do that in my sleep. I do want to hit my 12K steps, and I do want to work out 4 days a week. Like that's what I can do to stay on track right now, because I can fit in with the steps that I'm moving just on average daily for my lifestyle, whatever I'm up and around and moving and doing and, cleaning and running kids around and stuff. Yes, I have teenagers, but I still need to go to their events and drive. So, with doing all the mom things or whatever, and while I'm working, like even right now I'm podcasting, I'm standing up. I'm not walking, of course, but I'm standing up and I'm moving my hands around and, I'm being active still. So, and sometimes while I'm on calls with clients, I'll be walking. So I'm being very conscious of the movement during my day, but I will be moving around. I can go for a 30-minute walk to hit my 12K steps a day. I can track my food at the beginning of the week for basically the entire week with my staples, get things in my Fitness Pal and kind of cut out a lot of time there. And I know I can drink water. Like that doesn't take any extra time a day. I mean, if you're going pee all day from drinking water, it takes a little bit, right? But realistically, I can fit in 4 workouts per week. If you look at that same kind of schedule and you're laying it out like, okay, this is the days that I have to work out. Let's say it's 3 days a week. Then use those 3 days very, very wisely. You want to be doing full body workouts. You want to be doing them in a way that's going to help you to build muscle and get the biggest bang for your buck. That's kind of what I'm working on right now with my one-on-one clients is like, summer's crazy, summer's busy, but it doesn't mean that you have to stay the same physically. You can absolutely make progress, and my clients are doing that. So that would be something else I would do is hire help. Hire help. If you can't figure this out on your own, I cannot tell you that investing in your health, investing in support, investing in workouts, investing in accountability, investing in a coach, I do the same thing. It's priceless, and you will get to where you want to go so much faster and so much easier with someone to talk to you, guide you through it, and ask questions to. So, but that aside, figure out how many days you're able to work out. And I would say for 45 minutes, if you can work out 5 days a week for 30 minutes, perfect. If you can work out for 3 days a week for 45 minutes to an hour on those 3 days, that's perfect. Whatever time you have available for yourself, try to squeeze out time. Don't make yourself like the last resort. Like, well, I, did everything else and now it's time to work on myself. No, I know we can't always put ourselves first, but we do need to make ourselves a priority along with our job and our family, right? Like we need to be important too. But I know that that's not always realistic to say, yeah, I can carve out an hour and a half for myself every single day to work out and go for a walk. And I understand that. I'm not clueless to that either. But figure out what your track looks like and make it work, whatever you have time for. So for me personally, my 4 days a week for my workouts is what I'm banking on. Like last week I was sick, so I didn't work out at all for 7 days, no workouts. It was crazy. There were days that I really wanted to, and I just couldn't with baseball. And there were days that I couldn't because I was sick. So I just decided to give myself a full week of rest, and nothing happened. I didn't die. My body didn't change. I look the same. I feel the same. It's fine. So that's amazing. And in the past, I used to not be able to do that. But typically 4 days a week is what I shoot for. So I shoot for about 40 to 45 minutes per workout. 4 days a week, I'm strictly lifting weights. Some days are super heavy. Some days are more circuit based, higher reps. And I'll get into that in an upcoming episode. I do want to talk about workouts and why they're important and how, the kind of setup that you have and what you're doing is important for your goals. But make sure that your workouts are geared towards your goals. And if you don't know how to gear your workouts toward your goals, hire someone because you want to know. My ladies work with me for 3 to 6 months. And then after that, they understand if they like to go to the gym and do, regular sets and reps, or if they like to do supersets, or if they like to use the dumbbells and the machines and do circuits. Like they understand what they like and what works for them after I guide them through that. So having someone to walk you through that for a couple months is really priceless as it comes to your whole life. But making sure that your workouts are going to work for you is really, really important, especially when time is limited in the summer. Next, I want to talk about food. So in the summer, I am giving myself a little bit of grace, obviously. So in the fall and winter, and I've talked about this in a previous episode, in the fall and winter, I love to build. I love to build my body. I love to build muscle. Of course, I'm putting on a little bit of fat with that muscle, but I'm in a calorie surplus. I'm eating a little bit more. In the spring, I'd start to do a cut to where I cut a little bit of weight. I cut some fat. Yes, I lose a little bit of muscle in that time frame as well. But I do a cut on purpose so that in the summer, I can bump my calories up a little bit to maintain. So now I'm living at like maintenance. And now I'm able to enjoy some snacks and I'm able to enjoy myself a little bit more without being so obsessive. I'm not in a cut and I'm not in surplus. I'm just kind of maintaining. And that makes it really, really simple because summer really is like 3 months out of the year. I want to be able to enjoy it. I want to be able to enjoy a few drinks, a few snacks, right? I want to be able to live and enjoy my life because I spent so much time not doing that. So as you are looking to stay on track in the summer, I think it's really important to, for one, I would have you set up with this mentality of being able to build your body like during the year so that you're on this kind of cyclical yearly routine, kind of like me, where I'm building and eating a little bit more and working out a little bit harder and lifting heavier in the fall and winter, scaling back in the spring and summer. I've already set myself up for this. If you haven't yet and you're like, well, Christy, good for you, but I'm not at a place to kind of be at maintenance or maintain my body. I want to lose some weight. I want to lose some fat right now and look better for summer, even though it's already summer. If you're in that situation, I would say you're not going to get your dream body in 3 months. It's just point blank not going to happen. So this summer it's just not going to happen for you. And that's okay. Your body's amazing. It's fine. Love yourself. Go to the beach, wear the swimsuit, do all the things. But keep in mind that you do need to start shifting your mentality toward this yearly process, okay? Because it's really the best way to live in terms of like just having a really good, fun, foundational life and adding fitness into it. So that being said, you're not going to get to your goal in 3 months. Like you're not going to be, if you're just starting out right now and you're like, I need to lose like 50 pounds, you're not going to do that in 3 months. So what you can start to do is the foundational things like hitting 8,000, 10,000, or 12,000 steps. Wherever you're at right now with steps, bump it up like 2,000. That's my first goal, okay? You can start to do that. You can start to drink half of your body weight in ounces daily. Start to track your food and hit your goal weight. Consume your goal weight in protein daily. And then start getting in 3 to 4 workouts a week. Yes, you want those workouts to be working towards your goals. If you're not sure what that is, something is better than nothing. In the beginning, I would bank on weightlifting, especially with that protein number. So let me say that again. Whatever you're walking right now, increase it by 2,000 steps. 8,000, 10,000, 12,000 is a good place to start if you don't know where your steps are. But if you have like an Apple Watch or something and you're like, I'm averaging like 5,000 steps a day, aim for 7,000. Just bump it up a little bit more. And then drink half of your body weight in ounces daily. Consume your goal weight in protein daily and work up to that number gradually. If you start to track your calories, which I definitely would start doing. So you're going to open MyFitnessPal, you're going to start tracking all the food that you're eating. And if you look in there and you're like at 60 grams, you eat 60 grams of protein per day and your goal weight is 150, don't start eating 150 grams of protein tomorrow, right? Start gradually working toward that. But those 3 things, along with adding in 3 to 4 workouts a week, is going to absolutely change your life and change your body. And that's a very good way to stay on track because if you're tracking macros, you're still going to give yourself some grace. You're still going to give yourself some snacks. You can still track your White Claws. You can still track your Tito's and Cran like me. And it gives you that flexibility to be able to hit your macros pretty closely and still enjoy your summer. But ideally, when you're looking at how to stay on track for the summer, you have to look at the track that you're on and you have to be in full control of that. Make sure that it's something doable. It's summer, okay? We want to enjoy it. We also, I know, want to stay on track and we want to like be making progress and feeling good about ourselves. But one way we can stay on track, make progress and feel good about ourselves is make sure that the things we're telling ourselves we can do every day that we can actually do. Even if that means to scale back. Like I just said, summer's only 3 months and then we're back to fall. And we can tighten things up a little bit. You can add another day of working out. You can tighten up a little bit on snacks, whatever you need to do. But for summer, you have permission from me. Christy is giving you permission to enjoy summer a little bit and let go and chill. So what that looks like for me personally is exactly like what I just said. I cut my workouts back from 5 days a week to 4. They're all full body style. Sometimes I'm doing very heavy weights. Sometimes I'm doing circuits. I'm going to be adding a new programming into the Fit Club soon, which I'm very, very excited about. And all of my Fit Club members just already, like, they always get the same kind of workouts that I'm doing, which is awesome. So I'm going to be adding those in there. And they're going to be great for summer because they're a little bit shorter, but they're very, very effective. That's exactly what I do. In the summer, my appetite changes a little bit. I think everybody's does, right? I want chili in the summer. I want like fresh foods. So I've been eating a little bit differently. I'm definitely still having a protein shake every day. I've not really been wanting powdered protein. I've been wanting more of the pre-made protein shakes. I'm still loving my Bear Bells protein bars. I love beef sticks. I'm usually will have chomp sticks or the First Form protein sticks. They have 20 grams of protein. I love protein. So if anything has higher protein, I'm getting that. I've also been having a Ratio brand yogurt, like a Greek yogurt every day that has 25 grams of protein in it. I love the blueberry flavor with blueberries in it. It's so freaking good. But they have a key lime, they have a coconut flavor, they have a strawberry, and they have a vanilla. And you can add chocolate chips. You can add key lime with graham crackers and whipped cream. Tastes like a freaking key lime pie. It's so good. 25 grams of protein. You can't beat that. So I have that every day. I've been loving Quest chips, just straight out of the bag, or you can make it like a walking taco and you just rip off the top of the bag and then you put some beef and lettuce and sour cream and taco sauce in the chips and eat it. You don't have to dirty a plate, okay? And use a plastic fork and you don't even have to do the dishes. Just throw it all away. So that's a really good option. I also love the Quest peanut butter cups right now. Those are something that I'm loving for my sweet tooth fix. Don't get me wrong. I still have a couple Oreos here and there. And right now my household seems to be kind of obsessed with Little Debbie fancy cakes. They're so good. We're loving those. So I definitely have those, but I try to reach for my Quest peanut butter cups. They're not huge on protein, but they do have a little bit. And they're just more filling. Like they fix that sweet tooth for me and they're more filling. Over the weekend, we were in Columbus for baseball and I had this bowl. We were at a restaurant and it was jasmine rice and it had shrimp. And then it also had some carrots and cucumbers and tomatoes. And then just like I made it last night at home and I used like yum yum sauce and soy sauce and it was so good. So I have a feeling that's going to be kind of in the mix. I love to have like a tuna salad or a chicken salad and put that on just a regular plain old or whatever lightly salted rice cake. That's really great. Or you can scoop that with cucumbers as well. I love to make protein pasta salad. So I will just grab a box of protein pasta, make the entire box of protein pasta, and then I will mix that with Italian dressing. And then I will also just throw in some chopped up lunch meat, usually turkey and salami. And then I will throw in some mozzarella pearls or shred some fresh mozzarella, and you can add in green peppers, red peppers, you can add in anything. But that's really, really good. And it's nice to have warm or cold and you can keep that in the fridge. I also daily I like to open 2 packs of the packaged tuna. I love the ranch and the herb and garlic mixed together. And then I will put in 2 spoonfuls of salsa and like 2 spoonfuls of hummus, pop that in the microwave for about 20 seconds and eat it with tortilla chips. That is so good. I also love, just a little glimpse into my food life here. I love to just fry up some shrimp on the stovetop and add in like cucumbers and tomatoes and some hummus and cheese and just kind of put that in a bowl and eat it. I'm loving Kodiak cakes right now. I'm actually too lazy for Kodiak cakes, so I like the Kodiak waffles, the thick and fluffy. They have like 12 grams of protein. I'll eat that with like some cherry pie filling on top or with some whipped cream. So anyway, I'm loving snacky foods. So I either want them to be sugary and snacky, or I want my foods to be like savory and fresh, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm kind of in this mix of just kind of getting started on some of these newer little recipes and things that I'm whipping up, because I'm only home. Like this week, I was home Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we have baseball Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday again. Last week was the same thing. So I'm not home very much right now. So I'm eating a lot on the go, which is why I like a lot of these snacks, because I have to be able to take them with me, and I have to be able to also eat them quickly at home, because when I am home right now, I'm doing the laundry and cleaning the house and doing calls and recording podcasts. So I don't have a lot of time to cook. And honestly, I hate cooking. I don't know if I hate cooking. I hate saying that, because it's not the cooking part that bothers me. It's just, I don't enjoy it, and it's kind of a waste of time. So yeah, I don't like cooking there. It's true. So that's kind of just where I'm at with things. So I have pivoted to thinking I have to, make every meal at home, and I have to track every single thing, and I have to be in a cut. I have to be so obsessive with 5 workouts a week. I'm doing 4, and I'm having some snacks, and I'm making them fit in my macros, and I'm tracking them ahead of time. So I'm still doing my non-negotiables. I'm still getting my walks in. I'm still getting my water. I'm still tracking my food. And I'm still working out. It just all looks a little bit differently, knowing that it's okay for me to kind of enjoy life for a while. God forbid we enjoy life and don't just diet all the time, right? So as you are going through summer, and as you're like, oh my gosh, I keep falling off track every weekend, that's a whole different story. If you're falling off track every weekend and you're drinking too much and you're eating like shit and you're snacking all the time, that I will say, some tough love, that shit needs to stop. I am gone a lot of the weekends in the summer for travel ball. And it would be every weekend. If I was to say to myself, it's travel ball, right? It's 5 weekends, it's 6 weekends, whatever. I don't know which one it is. Let's say 6. It's 6 weekends, and it's travel ball, right? Like I can just go have fun and eat whatever I want and drink and go crazy. And yeah, I can if I want to. That's fine. But also that's most of my summer, and that's most of my week. If I mess around and eat like shit for 3-4 days out of my weeks, that's half, if not more, of my entire week. And then I've done fucked around, and then I've lost all my progress, right? And once you start eating like these crappy foods and all the time, and you're drinking all the time, and you're eating like shit, and that's what your body gets used to. That's what it wants more of, right? Whatever you're doing, your body wants more of. If you're in a healthy groove, you're feeling good, your body's going to want more of that. If you're in a shit groove and you're eating like processed foods and drinking all the shit, then that's what your body wants. If you want results, and if you want to look good, if you want to feel good, if you want to lose weight, tone up, right? If you want these things, you have to give up partying every single weekend and snacking all the time. It can be done. And this might also be a good time to have a coach, because you need someone to tell you, you're not going to get results eating like this every weekend. You can't drink all weekend, every weekend, and still have the body that you want. I did that for a while, like last year, maybe year before, I don't remember, but I'm in pretty good shape. So I can kind of mess around for a while, right? I can have drinks, I can have the cake, I can go crazy for a while. But even then, eventually my metabolism, my body is like, what are you doing? Like, this is not, we can't do this. We can't turn all this fat and carbs into muscle. We need some protein. So you can kind of mess around for a while, but it is going to catch up with you. So if you are one of those people too, that's like, how do I stay on track every weekend? And in reality, you're just kind of partying every weekend and eating like shit. Like, take real inventory of what you're doing. Take accountability, be intentional about it. So there's my tough love for you. You can't do that all the time and eat and have the body you want. Like, point blank, it can't happen. But if you are serious about things, then tighten it up and you'll be okay. But you do have to say no, and you will. Like, I didn't say anything in my own life, right? Like when my workouts and my walking and all that, I didn't say like, I'm allowing myself, 5 drinks a week and I'm allowing myself to eat Oreos every day. I didn't say any of that. I'm not allowing myself to really fuck around, to be honest. I'm staying pretty tightly to my goals and to what I want, because that's what I want. And I know that that's how I'm going to get there. So you do have to be realistic about it. You do have to make the track that you're on has to be clear, and it has to be one that you can stick to so you don't keep falling off of it. But it absolutely can be done in a way where you can enjoy your summer and still enjoy your body as well. So I hope this was really, really helpful. Thank you so much for listening, for being here. Thank you so much for sending in questions on Instagram. I love interacting with you over there, and I will talk to you next week. Thanks for listening to today's show. Go ahead and leave a rating and a review. And of course, follow the podcast so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And I would love it so much if you came to connect with me over on Instagram at Christy Castillo Fit. I will see you next time.